Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 9 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone had a great day, safe day, and, of course, let's make it a great night, folks. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. Always do your best, but don't overdo. When you overdo, you deplete your body and you go against yourself. When you overdo, it'll take you what? It'll take you longer to accomplish your goal. So the key is, folks, crank it out, but don't overdo it. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow down 64, NASDAQ off 6, S&P's off 8. Gold contract down $7.20, trading at $1,616 an ounce. Silver down 13 cents at $27.98 an ounce. Platinum $1,416 an ounce. Copper $3.41 a pound. Light sweet crude got some action there today, down $2.30 at $87.45 a barrel. Bonds up 11 ticks, trading out at 151.11. Bonds refuse to get off that high. King dollar down 14 ticks, trading out at 82.72. What King dollar did, folks, she got into the lows that were generated from 2 days ago, rejected those lows with lighter volume. King dollar wants to move on back up to that 84 area. We'll see how it handles the 84 once again. It looks to me like she wants to not only handle the 84, take the 84 out, and 89 is game. Euro's at 123.05. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Well, I know what's going on in your world. In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. What do you have? Okay, so last Friday, acceleration up, 1360 to 1389, no volume, 800 million. Guess what? Yesterday, you get over the highs, you close underneath them, 650 million. That's a failure straight across the board. We're also going into the downdraft of the 4th of May, as well as the downdraft of the 9th and 10th of April. What do we do today? You get to a lower price. Now, we're at 1381.09. For the S&P to really be in the lower range, it has to get into 1374.81. Where I'm going with that, folks, was the swing high that was generated on the 3rd of July. Now, let's go over to the Dow Industrials and take a look at the Dow. Dow Industrials, we come down 64 bucks, nothing heavy. Same type of failure, though. We are at 13,008. It's 12,961, which is only another 50 bucks down, and you're into the lower range. Now, NASDAQ Composite. The Composite, bottom line, never made it to the July 13th high. Had the lighter volume, rejected higher price, had lighter volume, all of the above. The Composite right now is at 29.39. The Composite's heading down for the lower swing point once again, which is the 28.39. I suspect we're building cause, folks, to get into the June 4th levels. That's what we're building cause for. Russell 2000. Russell 2000 continues to be the weakest indice. Russell 2000, we're at 786. The high in the Russell was 820. That was generated on July 3rd, July 5th, rather. The Russell looks to me like it's going to more than likely be right into the last swing low, which was on the 24th, more than likely tomorrow. The Russell's building cause to get into this 742.73 area. Now, what we have going on, of course, is you have the Fed meeting today, tomorrow with an announcement tomorrow. We have the European Central meeting. You get all those things happening. And is it going to make a difference in the market? If it's going to make a difference in the volatility in the market, that's about it. Going into the close today, what you're going to see right now is you're going to see some huge selling, and bottom line is that they want out, and they want out big time. If we take a look at the mini S&Ps, what you had going into the close is 163,000 contracts get thrown at that market. Now, that's good volume, but what you have there, folks, what we just did there is that we went into the 113,000 where the spike was higher on the 27th. And you can see the correlation. The correlation's pretty intense. The correlation is you went downtown with 163,000 contracts. This is within a 10-minute time span versus the 140. What that is setting up is that's setting up lower price. Now, when we talk about harmony, folks, there's harmony all over the world. And what I mean specifically is this. First, let's go to the FTSE. FTSE in London. So what did the FTSE in London do? FTSE in London today rejected, higher price, all the above. FTSE in London is closed at 56.35. That's going to be moving down to the 5,400. I suspect it's building cause for the 53.60. The DAX in Germany was screaming, was talking, walking, squawking. It did it all. And this is what it did. The DAX in Germany, folks, had gone over the highs yesterday, last swing high, had lighter volume, closed underneath them. Now, when you do that, folks, what ends up happening is that the probability that you get to a lower price the following day is pretty good. If you go to a higher high, it's like, oh, no, it's not going to fly. Well, what ends up happening today is that the DAX, first thing we get up this morning, it's like, okay, the DAX is over the high. It's like, okay, man, you want to go? Bottom line, it failed. Now, it not only failed, we're talking about the high of yesterday, which is 67.96, but what it did is that it closed under the 67.73.50 mark. Now, that's important because that's the actual swing point that it was going into yesterday. What does that set up? That sets up the DAX also wants to get down to the lowest swing point. Now let's really wrap it up, because this is what it is. Because we had wide price spread last Friday, you know, the S&P is already into that price spread. How we come into that price spread is going to be crucial. Why? Because when you have wide price spread, even if we had lighter volume, it's going to be hard to break into that. Now, the S&P did it real easy today. You know, it's in it by 9 points, okay? So the S&P is going to be something to keep your eye on, no doubt. Now, inside the NDX 100, let's talk about the NDX 100. It's all about Apple, once again, and between the NDX 100, by the way, and the composite. So we go over to Apple. We take a look at Apple. So Apple goes up today. She's up $16, $15.73. And in the matter of 3 days from her earnings, she's up $40. So check it out. Apple topped out April 10th at $644. It comes off that high. First off, it had a high with 31 million. It comes off that high with 37, 38, 38. Guess what, folks? It's going up at 16. Apple's going to, you know, get up and try to attack the 619 swing point. But the way that, unless Apple gets some monster juice inside it, that is the one-trick pony inside the NDX 100. If we go take a look at the movers inside the NDX 100 today, you had Apple, Symantec, Micron Technology, and let's see. So Micron Technology, yeah, it's a dead cat bounce. Micron Technology is an ABC structure on the way down. This is a stock that just went from $9 to $6. Couldn't handle it. Couldn't handle price today either. So bottom line is that what I expect you're going to see is you're going to see lower price here. Now, the volatility, I suspect, tomorrow is going to be intense, and this is why. The way these markets have just set up right now is they're setting up, which is really unusual, by the way, too. They're setting up to be selling tomorrow morning. The Europe is set up to sell. We're set up to sell. When you have a sell coming into the Fed, you know, basically announcement, it's as wild as you can get. You know, when we talk about the Fed announcement, what I expect you actually have here is that they may came out with either reduction of the interest rate that they're paying banks for cash that they hold, or an elimination. I don't see, you know, an aspect of QE 3, 4, 5, and 6 in there. I just don't see it. Yesterday we were talking about one of the, you know, this was the fraud suit that was going on in court between the SEC and one of the main offices at Citigroup for a CDO fraud. And what I was talking about specifically is that, you know, give me a break. You know, they had one guy up there like he was responsible for the whole deal. Bottom line, folks, the jury was in there all minutes, and they turned around and told the SEC, you're out of your mind. The guy got not guilty. But it just, this is I don't know anything really about the case, folks. But when you look at it, I know enough about the banking business. Okay, one person doesn't have the power for a $1 billion deal. That's the real bottom line, and that's, I suspect, with the. That's why they probably threw it out. We're going to be right back, folks.